Hi, I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Rachel. We're two Canadians living on our 39-foot mainship trawler, living an adventure of a lifetime. We invite you to follow along as we travel 6,000 miles through Canadian and U.S. waterways around America's Great Loop. Good morning. We just left our anchorage near Quiver Island, just heading by a little town called Havana. We didn't actually go in there last night. I think it was Oktoberfest they were having. It seems funny to have Oktoberfest in September. But we heard some celebrations going on last night, some singing sort of off in the distance. And so today we're headed to a new anchorage. I can't remember the name of it now. We were going to go near a lock, near LaGrange lock. I think that's where we're headed actually. But there's another island we're going to anchor behind. Pretty good night last night. Not too much barge traffic, but we did have a storm that was coming. I don't think it actually hit us until very early morning, sort of like 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning, I think is when we actually got the rain. But we could see the thunder in the distance, lightning in the distance. And we could just sort of hear some wind sometimes. The boat was moving around. We were just making sure that our anchor was holding. It took us a couple of times to get it set yesterday. So all was good though. We had a good night and we're off again today. Just a short trip today. Arrived at our anchorage for today at Bar Island, and we will be able to see tows go by here. It'll be kind of interesting to see the barges going by. But anyway, we've got a couple of boats that we traveled with today and that we're anchoring together for the night. And the weather has changed. We had rain overnight and this morning. We traveled in a little bit of rain, had a few gusts of wind or bouts of rain on the way. And it's cooler. It's nice to actually wear a sweater today. We've been so hot the last little while. It's kind of refreshing. And I don't think we're getting any more rain today, but you can see the wind in the trees. It's kind of nice to have a break from that hot weather. Anyway, we've arrived for today. Only about 32 nautical miles. Took us about, 4 hours or so. And we're all settled in for the night. Hope you're having a great day. It's not very often that you see a tow going along with no barge in front of it. Obviously he's going to get a barge somewhere else, but there he goes. It looks kind of funny, just a tow all by itself. Got these travelers this morning, a bunch of little mayflies all stuck to the boat. Morning. We're leaving our anchorage near Bar Island and headed towards LaGrange Lock. There's a couple of tows there now, but at least one of them doesn't have any barge, so we know that it won't be too long a wait. And so a couple of us have left the anchorage and are heading towards the lock, ready to go through. We saw a nice bright moon this morning and last night, and you can see the sunrise this morning. It looks really pretty. Very nice day. And we have a little bit of wind this morning, but we're hoping the sun comes out to help charge the solar. Hope you're having a great day. We have reached the LaGrange lock, and there are now 5 pleasure craft waiting to go through, and we can see there's a tow going in. They're really slow at going in, So we're just watching. He has allowed us to go through with him, but we're waiting to hear back from the lockmaster whether or not he allows us to go through with him. Otherwise, we have to wait for a lock cycle to go down. Anyway, it's a very pleasant morning. There's a beautiful sky actually right now, some kind of dramatic clouds there, but we're not expecting any rain today, so it should be a good day for traveling. Pretty long day today. I think we're going to another anchorage. Forget the name of it now. It's called Willow Island, I think. So it could be sort of maybe with this lock 7 or 8 hours altogether. Hopefully not that long, but either way, it'll be a very pleasant day. Hope you're having a great day too. Last lock of the Illinois River. This is the LaGrange lock. There's no bollards, so we've tied off onto these ties here. Kind of see that there. And it's about an 8-foot drop apparently. And we saw a tow come in and go down, and it was really slow. So I bet you it's going to be slow again. Shouldn't take too long, maybe half an hour or so, 15 minutes, half an hour, let's hope. There's quite a few boats in here. I think there's about maybe 8 trawlers. And a sea-doo who has just completed his loop. He did it in 3 months. Pretty amazing. We're actually tied on at the bow and the stern. This time Malcolm's holding the stern line, which is easier to keep the boat in the right position. We have now completed all 8 locks along the Illinois River, lowering a total of 159 feet. The Illinois waterway system consists of 336 miles or 541 kilometers of navigable water from the mouth of the Calumet River at Chicago to the mouth of the Illinois River at Grafton, Illinois. It's a system of rivers, lakes, and canals that provide a shipping connection from the Great Lakes all the way to the Gulf of Mexico via the Illinois and Mississippi rivers. The Illinois and Michigan Canal opened in 1848, and in 1900 the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal replaced the original Illinois Canal and reversed the flow of the Chicago River so it no longer flowed into Lake Michigan. The United States Army Corps of Engineers maintains a 9-foot deep navigational channel in the waterway. Just passed under that bridge there, and there's a lot of chatter back and forth on the radio between boats as to how much clearance there is. I think it's, someone said 25 feet, but I think it's a bit less than that. And we fit under there no problem without having to take any of our antenna down or anything. So some people have a mast on their boat, which is quite a bit taller, so I guess they have to decide pretty quickly whether or not they have to put the mast down or not. So I think everybody's good. The water level's relatively low. So everyone should fit under, no problem.
This is a report from the bridge. We are underway again. We've been underway now, I guess, for 4 consecutive days. So we've really been moving. Anchorages have been where we're at up until now. We're going to another anchorage. We're currently running at around 1800 RPM, just a little bit over. And because I think of the rain that happened in Chicago and further upstream, we've been averaging about 8.2 knots, which is really quite high. So that's good news for us. It means we're going to get to our destination a little bit quicker. We're estimated to be at our destination today close to 3 o'clock, and that gives us another 3 hours on the river before we get to our next anchorage, which is Willow Island. And the last anchorage of this little grouping, we're going to be in a marina tomorrow night, so that'll be a nice change. Anyway, that is the report from the bridge, and back to you.
Hi there. It was supposed to be cloudy today, at least the forecast said it would be cloudy, and it turned out to be just a little bit of cloud, but mostly sun, which we really like because then we can use our solar power. So today we are going a fairly long distance during the day cruising, and so while we're going along we can actually use the power during the day to do things. So Malcolm put the hot water heater on, and we're at a part now where there's not much traffic, so I actually went and just had a shower and got all freshened up, so it feels nice to have done that. Malcolm's in the shower now getting all clean, and it's about it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're getting still lots of power. Yesterday or the day before when we were traveling, when we had sun, I actually did some baking, made some cookies, and what else did I make? Oh, banana muffins. That was a good thing. I had to use up some bananas, so that worked out really well. So today we're, recharging our computers. I was doing a little bit of video work while Malcolm was piloting earlier, and I still have it plugged in on the table behind here. So when Malcolm comes back, I'll get back to doing some of that work. And so even on these long passages, well, not long, but long-ish, we still have the opportunity to get some things done by using some of our solar power. So it feels good to be self-sufficient that way, and taking advantage of the sun while we can. I am wearing my sun shirt, the SPF shirt, because I'm getting some sun on my arms here, and I have something across my legs so I don't get burnt. I tend to burn a little bit more easily than some, and so I still like the sun, but I have to be careful of it personally on my skin. So anyway, using lots of power today to do things and enjoying this passage. Last night at anchor, we heard coyotes yipping in the distance. It was dark, so we couldn't see anything. And then this morning, we heard some owls, and I'm pretty sure it sounds just like a barred owl, B-A-R-R-E-D, barred owl. So that was kind of neat. Didn't see it, but I could definitely hear it. And as we're going along just now, I'm seeing some wildlife, some birds and things. But I keep seeing, almost every day, a monarch butterfly just out here in the middle of the water, just flying around. Obviously, making its way south, I guess. I always understood that monarch butterflies went probably as a group, as a flock. I'm not sure if that's what you call it, a flock of monarchs. But as we're going downstream here, let's move that so you can hear me better. As we're going downstream here, we've been seeing quite a few monarchs, almost every day, 1 or 2 monarchs just flying along in the middle of the water. I presume there must be some along the tree line as well. But it's kind of neat to see them. And I know the numbers were declining in previous years, so I hope that means that they're healthy. They have a healthy population of monarchs. And we certainly have them up in Canada. And I know they fly a long way in the winter, or and stay down south in the winter. So it's really nice to see that the monarchs are flourishing, or at least one here and there. I hope that means that the whole population is. As we head farther down the Illinois River towards Kentucky, we're noticing a lot more hills. So they're tree hills, so it kind of makes for a more interesting landscape to look at while we're coming down. There's obviously no industry down here like we saw up near Chicago, but we're seeing a couple little fishing boats and what looks like some cottages that are on very high stilts. And that must be because of the flooding they get throughout the year here. So kind of nice to see a change in scenery. Makes you feel like you're actually going somewhere, even though we're only going like 7 or 8 knots. We are just approaching our anchorage area, and that island right there is called Willow Island. So we're going to kind of go around the bottom of it and pull in behind and anchor there for tonight. There's 3 of us that have planned to do this, but there'll probably be a few more boats there as well. So hopefully we'll have a good holding. It certainly seems like a really nice spot to stop for the night. We're about to set the anchor. I'm going to go to the bow. Malcolm's going to take us in. One of our buddy boats is just starting first, and so we'll go and see if we can get a good holding. Malcolm is checking the depth. He's reading it out to me as we go, so we know how deep it is. It's a good way to communicate to each other. It was 8 or 9 feet so far. 9.2. This island here is called Willow Island, and right there is a bar of sand. So when we come in, we have to go way down